What is going on, everybody? We're back with another review, and we're reviewing Smackdown, and you guys will actually get this one. I promise.
He says, "We'll see."
um, I wish that I'm kind of hearing myself through you. Do you have me over your regular speakers? Um,
Do I have you over my regular speakers? I have headphones in,
okay,
so
but no. So, yeah, this show happened. Um, it was worse than
it
last
was a.
week.
It was worse than last week.
I feel like it was.
Oh, I don't think it was worse than last week. It was a nothing show, but it was a show to set up two matches for the Paris pay-per-view, and that was the gist of it.
And one of those matches, nobody wanted. Not one person was
Yeah,
probably asking for it.
probably. You're probably well. I'm sure he has his fans out there.
Well, you know what? They don't matter. They suck just as much as he does.
Stop being impulsive, Nick.
um, yeah. So, I guess we open with a John Cena coming out and cutting a promo. Cena says that the crowd's the show. Thanks the crowd. He's afraid of being forgotten, and then he mentions about being afraid of Brock Lesnar. But then he also says he's not afraid of Brock Lesnar, and if anyone wants some, they can come get some. And the locker room now has a John Cena problem. At that point, Logan Paul's music hits, and I said, "Please no."
And now we have a Logan Paul problem.
Yeah. Because he's impulsive, fucking dick. So
Yeah.
he comes out, challenges Cena. Cena says tonight. Logan says nah, clash. And then
Say, not in this French speaking place, the other French speaking place.
yeah, Cena gets jumped by Drew McIntyre from behind. Cody comes in to help. Ugh. And then
It was a very Vince McMahon type of show.
later tonight we get Drew and Logan versus Cody and Cena. I just thought it was so funny, so fun. And then Cena saying, "Who in their right mind thinks I would actually ask to wrestle Brock Lesnar?" So he threw Triple H back under
Triple
the
H thought
bus.
so. Yeah, good, because he should have not said that. This is a very pandery promo by Cena.
I hated every single thing about this whole segment. The whole thing. Nothing I liked. I was so bummed because now we got Logan Paul wrestling Cena, which I had heard rumors of it being one of the next feuds for Cena.
Yep.
And I was hoping it was not going to happen. Like, I saw Brock come back, and I was almost happier that it was going to be Brock instead of him. Almost. And then...
Yeah, almost.
And then, nope, here we are. It's Logan, which means I'm going to have to deal with Logan and Brock against Cena before this is all said and done.
I mean, who else do you put? I would have rather seen Drew and Cena, but apparently
you could do Drew and Cena. You could do
Drew's about to be against Cody, apparently.
Gunther.
By the looks of
honestly, Gunther and Cena sounded at least appealing.
I think Gunther's getting some time off.
Speaking of time off, someone else just got time off in wrestling. Oh, Roman Reigns.
Oh, the one match he's wrestled in 6 months. Yeah, give that man some time off.
But yeah, so there was another wrestling thing I was going to talk about before we started this, and it involved AEW, and I can't remember what it was.
No, I thought you was going to mention like the ESPN thing that nobody cares for.
I think we talked about that in our last
Monday.
No, it was Dynamite. It was Wednesday. That's what
Was it Dynamite?
That was the day they announced it. But there was something else wrestling related. I don't remember what it was. And then we.
That's all right. Guess what? We're back tomorrow for Collision. So
we are.
if you remember.
Hopefully, I'll actually be awake then.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to chime in and let me know when the R-Truth thing takes place, because, like I said, I don't have.
It took place. Oh fuck! Where did it go? I wrote it down.
So
it was before the main event. It was after the Tiffy segment.
okay, because what happened was I was watching live and then I fell asleep.
It was that kind of show.
No, I actually had. I can usually watch a boring show and not worry about it. It could have been exciting.
How when every 2 minutes of action is then followed by 5 minutes of commercials?
It could have been exciting, and I still would have slept. I am
This
so tired today.
right.
I got 4 hours of sleep last night.
Somebody needs to go to the doctor and try to get their sleep stuff in order there, buddy.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So
I can tell you it does help.
Where were we? Oh, we got Tessitore and Barrett on commentary.
Which was another negative on this show.
Dude,
they're so bad. They make Excalibur and Tony Schiavone sound like King and fucking JR. Just in quality, not in actual content, because I don't think we'll ever see Wade Barrett talking about puppies.
I think I finally have realized that I just don't like Tessitore's voice.
It's very weatherman. Proper.
I don't.
He was a sports commentator for something. He was a legit.
Well, and yeah,
maybe
and there's probably a reason he's not there anymore. So I don't obviously like. He's not bad at the actual commentating.
Right.
It's just his voice that I don't like it. And Wade Barrett honestly is better when feeding off of Cole.
Yeah.
Because him and Cole take jabs at each other, and it's fun. These guys just, I don't know, dude. It
wet blanket. It's just a wet blanket of commentary.
It's honestly like watching Collision. And we have to listen to Shivani and Nigel. And
I like Nigel.
Well, yeah, I like Nigel too. But I also like Wade Barrett. That's where my comparison fits in.
So you like the European guys, and the bland American guys can go step off somewhere.
Right. Shivani can step off into the middle of the ring.
Yeah, do an interview and go the fuck away.
But yeah, no. Now, to be fair, though, I will take Shivani's voice over Tessitore's 10 days a week.
I agree, unfortunately, and I am not a big Tony Schiavone on commentary guy.
That's how much I dislike Tessitore's voice. In fact, there might not be a commentator in wrestling that I hate their voice more.
The thing about it is, they've got so much money they can go out and get anybody.
Do you want to know who people like that also annoys me with their voice? And it's almost the exact opposite inflection wise.
Booker T.
Riccaboni.
Ian Riccaboni. I can see that. Ian Riccaboni has like a game show host type tone. I keep thinking he's going to say, spin a wheel.
Now, but at least Riccaboni is only on TV every great once in a while.
Yeah, when everybody else is unavailable.
Right.
Or you're watching Ring of Honor.
But yeah, so now that we've got that out the way, we get a backstage interview. Motor City Machine Guns are backstage, and we find out that they're going against Solo's MFTs tonight.
Yay!
And they were like, yeah, you know, we got messed up during that TLC match, but you know what? When we get knocked down, we've made a legacy of getting right back up. So this match is next. I'll let you talk about the match.
Motor City Machine Guns versus JC Mateo and I still hate saying his name, Tala Tonga, because he's the tall one. Huh?
Someone's an asshole. I don't know who named him, but they're an asshole.
He's tall, so his name is Tala. This was a nothing match where the Motor City Machine Guns fought underneath at the beginning, ended up being just a squash finish once the tall one got in the ring.
Ow.
Big choke slam for the win. Did look good. It did look like a pretty good choke slam. Totally crediting the Motor City Machine Guns for that. Not the tall one. Yeah, this was pretty much nothing. It was a means to set up the next match because
Well,
after the match, go ahead.
I was gonna say my 2 sentence blurb was after a pretty mid match, Talatonga blind tags in, boots Alex Shelley off the top rope, and choke slams Chris Sabin to get the pin. And now I got to hear Solo talk.
Yep, Solo's promo talking about how no one wants to fight him and how great he is. Nick Aldis comes out and says, "Oh, well, since you're in your gear, I've got somebody from Montreal that is looking for a fight as well." And out comes Sami Zayn to a huge pop.
Yeah.
So we got Sami versus Solo, which was, nice, I guess, for the Montreal crowd.
It was honestly
I could have cared less.
Probably the match of the night. There just wasn't much going on.
Yeah, that's not necessarily high praise, but you're probably absolutely right. For that match, I don't have a ton of notes either. Oh. It was just lots of distraction and interference spots thwarted by Sami.
I said the crowd chants a bunch of Olays for Sami and Solo covered his ears. That's how the match started.
Yep.
Well, that was fun. I said at the end of the match, the MFTs start to interfere. Solo goes for a Simone spike. Sami ducks, gets the roll up, and gets the 1, 2, 3.
Yep, hometown boy gets the roll up win. Solo looks like a fucking nerd, man. He's got this group of just big ass dudes that just look like a bunch of fucking jobbers. They're trying to protect the tall one, and he's the least talented of the fucking 4 of them.
Well, and a part of my problem is Solo looked so bad here, dude. And I don't mean as in like a bad wrestler. He wasn't like fucking up spots or not selling or anything like that.
No, he looks like a geek, man.
He just he comes in, he gets they almost kind of tried to 50-50 book him during this match as much as possible.
Yeah, all his offense came off of distractions, though.
But your team gets you the distraction, and then you can't even capitalize on it.
That's what makes him look like a geek.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the way that he's being written, but at the same time, I don't think I've ever been a fan of how he's been written. Whether he was Roman stooge or now that he's got stooges, I don't know. Solo just doesn't click with me.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where decide where you want him on the card. Do you want him in the upper mid card, or is he not ready? And if he's not ready, because they pushed him pretty quickly, he needs to go down. You've got enough people on that roster that can give you meaningful things. He just looks like a joke heel.
And it's not even just that. I hate this persona that they've built with, and I know there are people that love it, even Simon,
where he's Roman Reigns light.
Not even that. He kind of does this little goofy laugh and shrugs his shoulders while he's in the middle of talking, and he's just trying to be all kind of slapstick movie and
yeah, where he's looking side to side and stuff, and just shrugging his shoulders and giggling to himself.
And Simon loves it. He's big up on Solo right now.
Oh, I don't get it.
Which if people like it, it's fine. Wrestling's not meant to cater towards me. But yeah, I'm like you. I just don't get it.
Well, not everything. Not everything in wrestling is meant for everybody.
I don't get the appeal. I don't if there was ever anybody that acted like that in my friend group, they would not have been in my friend group.
You mean you wouldn't have been a part of this faction?
No. In fact, if anyone acted like that and I was ever around them, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck is your problem?
Yeah, it's just not working for me. I wish. I don't know. I don't know what you do with them. Either book them strong. Well, they've been on the downturn since last year's War Games, when they got beat in there, and it's just been all downhill from there.
So we get a couple of backstage segments back to back. The first one, we find out that Charlotte has something to give Bliss for her birthday. And then the second one is a combination of a couple. It starts with a backstage segment with the Wyatt Six, and then after the creepy promo, the Street Profits and DIY, dry. No.
Well, kinda.
DIY argue. At least we find out that Candice LeRae's alive, so that's good.
That's it. That's literally the first thing on my notes. I got DIY Profits backstage segment. Thank God Candice is able to walk.
I don't know if that's a real bruise because it might be, but obviously they're not against using makeup to make things to embellish things.
Sure.
And we probably will never truly know. I think it is because I watched how
I think landed. It is as well. Yeah, there was a lot of people running to her aid. I tell you what. So it was a rough thing. I did like the Profits talking about I don't know why she climbed the ladder anyways. And Tommaso Ciampa's response was, "It's a ladder match." And he's like, "You want to talk about that? Look at Husband of the Year over here."
Yeah, it wasn't a bad segment.
No, I liked it. I liked the segment. It was a good little banter back and forth between the Profits and DIY. Nick Aldis came in and said his piece at some point as well.
I am looking forward to one of the few things I'm looking forward to now that I'm actually watching SmackDown. I am looking forward to seeing more of the best tag division in wrestling right now. Although I do feel like AEW is starting to get better. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing everything going on with the tag division, and then I am looking forward to maybe actually liking the Street Profits. That would be great. I don't want to hate any tag teams. I love tag team wrestling, and
when it's booked right, it's great.
So we'll see.
Yes, indeed.
Flair and Bliss come out. There is a cake in the ring that says in all caps, "Congratulations, Charlotte Flair," and then in a small print it says "And Alexa." And then
it said "P.S. Happy Birthday" in even smaller font.
Yeah. And then the gift that she got was Lily. She put a "We're Not Friends" shirt on Lily. And then at some point, I guess a few years ago, and I must have missed this, Alexa got Charlotte a Charlie doll.
Yeah, it's when they were feuding.
And Charlotte also put a "We're Not Friends" shirt on her as well. And then Charlotte goes to tell Alexa to hug the queen. And then
you can hug me. You have permission to hug me.
And then Chelsea Green with her secret Hervis comes out because these are like the only 4 women on the show. And then
yep. Well, there's more women on the show. These are just the 4 that 5 because it's 3 on Chelsea's side and then the other 2.
Right. Now I know why Chelsea was used here. Because it's her home country.
Yeah, because she's Canadian. Yeah. She is also Canadian.
But Chelsea comes out, says the crowd should be celebrating her. Charlotte says, basically, she runs down the crowd for a little bit, and then Charlotte tells Alexa, "Hey, I've got one more gift for you, and it's getting to watch me beat Chelsea's ass." I'm so mad that she didn't say a word. I was hoping we were going to carry that.
Thing going. Yeah, I thought they had a good thing going there.
But yeah, it just goes to show you that WWE writers themselves can't think only think week to week. So, Chelsea goes to leave. Nick Aldis comes out and is like, since we're in the habit of just making matches on the spot, because both him and Adam Pearce have to do the exact same thing.
Of course.
He says,
"Man, you're getting picked up in the microphone, dude."
He says, "I've also got a gift, and it's a referee." And the referee had a little bow on his shirt.
He's like, "It's a brand new referee."
Yeah. And we get this match next. So, match Match 3, Chelsea Green versus Charlotte. Oh, and we get a quick backstage segment during entrances on this. The Miz walks out of Nick Aldis's office and when Mello knocks. And Carmelo Hayes is mad at Miz for disappearing after Miz was supposed to take him to new heights. And Melo's like, I want a U.S. title match, so I'm going to go in and ask for it. And Miz is like, hey, I got us a tag match next week. And then...
yeah, fuck your career.
And then
let's further mine.
He's like, is that okay with you? And then Mello was like, yeah, that's fine. And then Mello walked off, and as he walked off, Nick Aldis came from a completely different direction than his own office. And Miz was like, hey, can we go in your office? We got to talk. I have a feeling Miz is going to ask for a U.S. title match instead of a tag match.
I agree. Carmelo Hayes looks like like an idiot here.
He does. The only thing I wanted to say, because I made it like almost to the very end of the match before I wrote any notes. I'll let you kind of go over it, but the only thing I did put early.
Oh no, I didn't really write anything either. It was really nothing.
I'm really hoping someone gets sent into this cake, and I was not disappointed.
Oh, good news! Good news.
You don't have a cake on wrestling.
You can't have exactly. You can't have a cake without some sort of cake spot.
Yeah. I put it's an okay back and forth match. Chelsea calls for the Hervis to bring in the cake. Bliss jumps off and ends up taking out the Hervis after they get the cake in the ring. She jumps off the apron. Chelsea goes to put Flair into the cake with the unprettier. Charlotte reverses it into an unprettier of her own, and then she puts
which was a very ugly unprettier.
Yeah, it was unpretty, that's for sure.
It was a very unprettier.
And then she put on the figure 8, and Chelsea tapped pretty quick.
That is literally the same notes I have. Literally almost to the word.
I said post-match, Bliss eats some cake, feeds some to Flair, they celebrate, and that's that.
Yep. When's she going to say the F word? Just say the F word.
It'll be next week.
Yeah. Probably.
Is this where that segment is? Or no, it's after this one, isn't it?
It is after this one, yes.
Go ahead. I've talked a lot.
So the next segment is a Tiffany Stratton segment where she's talking about, herself and how she's great and blah, 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 blah. And out comes Jade and pretty much telling her, you're lucky, it should have been me, and I should have been shining my new title, blah, blah, blah. Pretty nothing segment there where Tiffy's just like, you may think that, but the outcome's always going to be the same. Really nobody looked any better at the end of this. Then Julia and Kiana James comes out to interrupt Jade before Jade takes off, attempts to give her a business card. Jade just looks aimless during this whole thing. I think Mia Yim.
I didn't even know who she was.
Who, Kiana James?
Yeah.
I had to Google who she was when she first showed up a few weeks ago.
I did remember Mia Yim's name though.
Yeah, Mia Yim comes out and takes the business card from Jade because Jade doesn't want it, and she's like, "I'm going to ask me for a U.S. title match, so maybe that comes next week. Who knows? Long-term storytelling."
Yeah, it is. Not.
Yeah, it was pretty nothing. Much like this show. It was just a segue between commercials.
Yeah. And then there's the scene of art.
So the next segment, once back from a commercial, John Cena is shown backstage, and R-Truth walks in front of him, and they start doing this mirror thing where I raise my arm, you raise the opposite arm, and they're like mirroring, and it's like, after that scene, it's like, oh man, you're back. I'm so glad you're back. He's like, there for about 5 months, you kind of really went off the rails there and was really trying to hurt people and stuff. And R-Truth was doing his comedy stuff, which is great. Love me some R-Truth. I just like seeing these guys interact. It's funny. But it was a pretty nothing segment that just led to another commercial just before the main event.
So, and we talked a little bit about this, and I'll bring it up here as well. I am not a fan of this. I mean, obviously, I love my R-Truth comedy segments. They were some of the best things going on Raw for a while there, whenever he'd show up.
But you were hoping for a change once he flipped the personality.
Right. I was hoping for a more serious, because he even said that when they talked about his contract, because he had a couple interviews after he re-signed.
Sure.
And he even said that one of the things that he brought up was he wanted to do something more serious. He wanted to be Ron Killings. Like, he wanted to be himself. And not just a comedic character. And here we are. He's reverted back to his comedic character.
He may be doing some split personality thing, because he did kind of have some like weird looks in his eyes and stuff when he was when Cena walked away. So maybe they're setting something up. Maybe they just wanted to show a spot with him and Cena where they were acting like buddies again. I don't know.
I hope there's some kind of depth to this, and it's not just going to be just as shallow.
A throwaway segment. Yeah.
I hope it's not just going to be just as shallow as Cena's out of nowhere face turn.
It's not working. Revert it back.
There's pivoting, and then there's course correcting.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is more of a course correction than an actual pivot.
I would agree. I mean, they were eventually going to do it anyways. Cena wasn't going to retire a heel.
No, he wasn't.
Clearly, well, I mean, fuck. He's only got 11 dates left, allegedly, based on the promo he did early in the night. So, I mean, they had to do it at some point.
Right.
I don't know if the Brock coming back thing kind of expedited it. Getting the belt off of him I don't know.
Now,
I don't know where they decided to pivot and shift, but
right.
Clearly the people wanted to cheer him. Even when he was doing his heel thing, people still cheered him.
Right.
So it just wasn't working.
So match 4, which is the final and main event that happens. My favorite thing that happened all night happened in this match. Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre versus John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I honestly I don't know what really all happened until Logan Paul got DQ'd. I feel like it happened pretty quick into the match.
It wasn't very long. There was a very little bit of wrestling. Cody did a vertical suplex. There was a 5-knuckle shuffle. It was mostly the baby faces kind of dominating. And then, Logan Paul goes low to get the DQ. And then then him and Cena fight to the back, leaving Drew and Cody, to fight ringside.
And then my favorite thing happens. Cody takes a claymore through the table. Literally, his head goes through the side of the table.
So, Cody is on the floor in front of the table, kind of crawling in front of the table, and Drew runs and claymores his face into the side of the table, breaking his face and upper body through the bottom part of the table. It was a pretty cool looking spot.
That was. I loved it. And you know what? It's because I'm petty, right? It has nothing to do with it just being a cool spot. I love that it happened to Cody, specifically.
Yeah.
I am so annoyed at face Cody, dude. I'm tired of him. I hate it.
Hey, you sound like 2021 era AEW fans.
I don't. I've seen
because
what you've seen
it. Yeah, you've seen it for 3 years now, and you're tired of it.
There are some people that can carry.
It's the same thing that happened in AEW. It's the exact same thing that happened in AEW.
There are some people that can carry that face momentum for a long time. Cena did it. And he still, at least with like Cena, it was never
even he acknowledged that he should have turned heel a long time ago.
Oh yeah, but even Cena,
even Hulk Hogan turned heel.
Most of the fans of Cena weren't mad at him being a good guy. Most of the fans of Cena were mad because he just always won, when he shouldn't have. And that's like. He was still able to cut interesting face promos at times. And I get so bored with Cody. Like, his music hits, and immediately, like, I'm just like, ugh, here we go. And I mean, even if it's just for a promo, because it's always like, you know exactly what's gonna happen. He's gonna come out and he's gonna be like, he's gonna pick up a phone and he's gonna walk in a circle.
What do you guys want to talk
and he's gonna be
about?
like, well, what do you want to talk about? And it's like, I don't. I want you to get out the fucking ring.
I'm like, this is your promo time, dude. What do you want to talk about?
And then he has to go through, and what makes me so mad is this man cut one of the most endearing and heartfelt promos probably in the history of wrestling in AEW.
Which one?
Was it the Brody King? The Brody one? Not Brody King.
You talk about Brody Lee.
Brody Lee. It was one of them. I can't remember if it was the Brody Lee.
Cody had a bunch of really good promos.
No, but I mean, I don't mean just good. I mean, this was like, you almost teared up listening to the way that he was talking about whatever it was that he was talking about. I want to say it was actually about AEW, not. I don't think it was the Brody one that I'm thinking of. But no, it's just. Again, my problem is I've seen what he's capable of as a heel, and not only is it so like it's better, it's more interesting.
Well, it can be.
I just I hate this version.
He's you hate overproduced Cody, which is what this is. But I got news for you, brother. He ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
That's something. No, and actually they already said apparently he did an interview, or there was an interview with somebody or something. I don't remember. It was this week though. And they were like, yeah, if we're ever going to turn Cody heel, it's not going to be anytime soon. And I'm just like, fuck me, dude. And maybe that's my problem. Maybe he's a face and he's going to hold on to this fucking belt for another 8 months. And there are just so many other people I would rather also see as champion than him. So many. Half the roster.
Who are the singles on SmackDown?
Fuck it, give it to Drew.
I don't want heel Drew with Logan Paul.
Well, I don't want him with Logan Paul, but I would like Drew to have the championship.
I like Drew as a heel champion, but
Drew is actually
with his alignment with Logan Paul. No.
I am relatively sure that Drew is my favorite person on SmackDown right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
Even with Logan,
I can see
as
that.
much as I hate Logan.
Honestly, more than likely, the next person to beat Cody is probably going to be.
It's going to be Gunther. Gunther's going to come over to SmackDown and during the trade. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
They need to do something.
That wouldn't be
They
bad.
need to shake up this roster because SmackDown's roster sucks.
It does. It has all the tag teams, but like, there's no singles. Solo, Miz. Who the fuck else is a single? Drew.
Well, Roman's supposed to be there, but he's only there 3 days a year.
Yeah, but all his feuds were on his newest feuds on Raw now, so he'll be on Raw.
I don't know, dude. Like AJ was over on SmackDown, and now he's on Raw, and I'm like, who do you guys even have on SmackDown? Like who?
Yeah, their roster is a little middle heavy, not a lot at the middle to bottom heavy. There's not a lot of guys on the top. Not a lot of main eventers on SmackDown.
Right. But yeah, no, I don't. They don't have anybody that. Maybe that's why Logan Paul's getting a push. Unfortunately, they need something.
Bleh, bleh, bleh.
You know what? Bring back Austin. Don't do that to me. That's
A-Town down.
That's just that's me trying to be funny, and I just almost vomited. I don't know, dude. SmackDown's so rough, and I feel
it is a rough watch.
I feel so bad because somebody out there is loving it. They really are, and I'm just like, I'm sorry.
I don't know how you get into the show. Like, seriously. Like, I know we bitch about commercials and advertising a lot.
The commercials on this one
podcast.
specifically were bad.
Dude, they're so frequent. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like the next time I watch this, I'm gonna get my fucking stopwatch out, and I'm going to time the amount of wrestling to commercials.
I don't even remember last week's commercials being that bad. Like
I don't either.
this week specifically, it felt like they were
It's
doing
like,
commercials in between like promos.
yeah, every 2 minutes, it felt like, okay, now it's either a picture-in-picture commercial or it's the end of a segment into another commercial. It was rough. Like it's a 2-hour show. I got done in an hour.
It's yeah. I don't know what happened. I don't know why there were so many commercials. Somebody
Money
somewhere
happened.
somebody somewhere is like they got to pay their bills. What bills?
They make money despite themselves, and that's fine because they're big right now. They better cash in because this shit can go the other way really quickly.
I'm going to tell you
And
what.
this was a very Vince McMahon like fucking show.
There's going to
Triple H's booking is starting to get really Vince McMahon like.
there. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Bam! Mental hurdle cleared. So, Dynamite was up almost 100,000 viewers from last week.
Oh yeah, were they? Well, they usually average what in the 600,000s? Were
Yeah,
they
it was like
mid sevens?
it was like 710, 720.
If it would have been like 9 something, I would see your enthusiasm.
I said 100,000, my guy, not
I know, but I still
not half
don't.
a mil.
It's not that. Well,
It's
a couple hundred thousand would get them near that, but
it's progress.
it's
Yeah,
and that honestly that was kind of a lighter Dynamite too. That wasn't the greatest Dynamite in the world
and
either.
here's the thing: I don't expect them to maintain moving up like that, but I do think the more, and this is where I was going with this because it's a good segue into it. The more WWE keeps fucking around, the more stuff like this is going to happen.
I think you're a little too overambitious because
no, I'm not talking about they're going to be brought down. That's not my goal at all. But there are going to be, because here's the thing, AEW 100% can guarantee you is never going to outdo WWE. Never.
I wouldn't say never.
But people are going,
because they had a really good opportunity and they squandered it.
People are going to, if WWE keeps fucking around and putting out an extremely boring product, they're going to be more willing to at least give AEW a try, which is going to actually cause more people to watch both shows. Because your WWE fans aren't going to quit watching WWE. They're just not.
No, they're programmed to.
Hell, I still watch WWE. And it's not just because we're doing this. I was still watching it before we started doing this.
No, we're still it's still a wrestling show. We're still fans of wrestling. But even the bad ones. Even the bad shows.
It's going to get people to go, well, I'm not as satisfied as I want to be. Maybe AEW does have something, and we'll check it out and see what's happening. And if it's 100,000 here, 20, 30,000 there, that's fine. I don't expect a regular over million viewing range anytime soon.
No, but I think they could have gotten there had they capitalized on a lot of the momentum that they'd set up. But that's a completely different thing. They've had the worst luck with injuries and stuff, and had a very hard time maintaining some of the really high momentum they have due to injuries and stuff.
Now, here's what I would like to happen, and again, it's not because I hate WWE. I would like to see AEW be more competitive and even beat them in ratings a couple times. And again, not because I want to see WWE fail. Someone needs to fucking light a fire under H's ass, dude. Because the booking,
yeah, and they had it at one time. They had it at one time, and they don't see them as competition anymore.
The booking was really good for 8 to 12 months after H took over.
I don't even know if I would say it was that long.
And all of it, it's so bad right now, dude. And it's not all bad. Don't get me wrong. It's all doom and gloom. I mean, SummerSlam I thought was pretty good. But the build up to SummerSlam was terrible. we were worried. I was worried that the whole fucking SummerSlam show was gonna suck, and it only ended up being like 2 or 3 matches that I was like, hey, we could have done without this. Um, 3 or 4 matches. I think it was 4 matches total. But yeah, SummerSlam was decent, and the build up sucked. It's like, again, dude, they're not taking risks in their storytelling, and I think that's kind of the problem. Like, and again, this is just to give you guys an idea for those of you, and the only thing I can ever do is go back and re-reference stuff that happened in the Attitude Era, and I don't necessarily mean the edgier stuff. There are just certain things that you got to see in the Attitude Era that the stuff like that's not thought of anymore, right? Like a prime example, very first episode of SmackDown. They did the main event that was The Rock versus
Triple H with Shawn Michaels as the special referee.
And Shawn was a special guest referee. And the way that match ended was fucking epic.
Was awesome. That was like a pay-per-view main event.
Yeah, it was.
And yeah, you can't do that all the time. But
WWE never does stuff like that.
No.
Or silly shit. Like you're posted like end of the night segments, dude. Austin driving the beer truck to the ring and spraying everybody down with beer. Obviously, you can't do that with a beer truck now. And you don't want to necessarily mimic that exact thing happening. They did it one more time with Angle with the milk truck, which was hilarious. But it's just segments like that don't happen. They just don't. It's WWE has become, it feels like a parody of itself. Where the most you're going to get at the end of the show is a chaotic brawl of some kind, like tonight, right? We get
a smaz.
We get the dude that, you know, I said the dude. We get Drew McIntyre. Claymoring Cody through the table, which was a cool little segment. But it's we see that every week.
It served its purpose. It set up a match for Paris.
Right. But we see stuff like that like every week. Like it's especially with Drew. Drew is really good at claymoring people at the end of his segments. That's kind of his thing. We watched him do it to Jelly a couple times.
There should be more meaningful matches. Like, why couldn't the Solo and Sammy match been for the title?
Right, that's a good example. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this match now. We'll make it for the title. Even if you
make it meaningful.
Even if you don't,
and you could have booked a way to have Solo keep the belt.
Right.
Sammy could have went over in a DQ fashion and then still got all the offense and stuff he needed to like escape and, you know, be the hometown boy and get his applause and stuff.
Right. But yeah, that's where my thing is. Like, that's the thing I remember and what I loved so much about the Attitude Era, that people always seem to think, oh, the Attitude Era wasn't that great when compared to now. No, it really was. Like, people don't realize how good Vince was at booking the cliffhanger. That's what it really is, booking the cliffhanger that makes you want to come back the next week and find out what's going to happen next.
Well, they had to book well then, because
they had WCW fighting them.
They were getting their asses beat.
But yeah, it's like I said, it's just stuff like that, and that's why I want AEW to succeed. And I don't want them to blow WWE out the water. I hate that any company blows anybody out the water. Like, that's not my goal in all of this. I want them both to be competitive enough that they both feel like they have to keep upping their game.
Yeah.
That's
competition creates a better programming for the consumer.
Right. And don't get me wrong, AEW took some to the chin last year. They did. They fucked up. They did a lot of stupid shit, and I'm not even talking about just with their shows. TK's gotten better about keeping his fucking mouth shut.
They still do similar things where it looks like their booking is stale for several weeks at a time as well.
It is, but they've gotten better about a lot of things. I'm talking about compared to last year. whether it's like I said, and it's not at all necessarily due in show is what I'm talking about. Like just outside of it, like one of the things we haven't had to actually go through, and they finally got the fucking picture that nobody wanted to hear. We haven't had to have a rah-rah speech for anything in a long time.
No, not since Cope did it last year.
And we haven't. TK hasn't gone off and said really stupid shit on Twitter, so that's been really good. Did I say Cope or did I say TK? I meant TK.
You said TK.
Okay.
You said the right one.
Okay, just making sure.
I said Cope because he did the rah-rah speech on the show.
So like, it's been nice, TK not shooting himself in the foot. But he's already ruined so much of his view to a lot of fans from the times that he was going through and doing that shit.
Yeah, because he looks like a mark, and he is a mark. He is, and that's fine because we're all marks, honestly. But yeah, when you're the distant number two, you can't shoot off at the mouth the way he did. Prove it in your programming, man. Book better shows, and people will be attracted to it eventually. Oh, yeah. You're running your mouth. I mean, all you're doing is bringing a negative image to your show because tribalism is so deeply rooted in wrestling fandom that you just turn those people that could be consumers of your product off with the way you run your mouth.
Right. And also, the other thing everybody needs to realize, when I said that AEW was up 100K, right? 100K from what they were last week. If you want to be 100% honest in the way ratings and things are done, honestly, it doesn't fucking matter.
No, but that's good because that's not counting the people who are watching on Max either.
Correct.
So if they're up to 700,000 in the ratings, in the Nielsen ratings, that's just the cable broadcasters. That's not what Max is reporting streaming-wise. That's good. So they may have over 1 million people watching their show. And if that's the case, that's growth for them.
It is.
And that's a good thing. Being on Max does put a lot more eyeballs on them.
Well, yeah, their Max numbers have
again, that's growth. That's good.
Their Max numbers have gotten them over 1 mil a few times.
Yeah, because they've been averaging almost as many people streaming on Max as people watching on cable. So now, they've probably been hitting those numbers for a while, but
obviously we don't know how many of those are those weird fucking fans also that are watching it on both cable and Max because they're like, hey, look, I can get them 2 views. And trust me, guys, they exist, okay? Wrestling fans are weird. You can just go to a convention and tell that wrestling fans are weird.
What are you trying to say?
That we know some weird wrestling fans.
Yeah, we do.
When you go to a wrestling convention and you don't know if you accidentally went to a Magic the Gathering convention instead, it's a type. But no, I'm happy. Like I said, I wanted to bring it up because I was happy to see the growth that AEW got. I'm not naive. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they're on the up and up. They're going to take over WWE soon. No, they done lost that chance.
Such an AEW shill. He's such an AEW shill, guys.
They done lost that chance. That chance was back when Vince was still running shit.
Yeah, before Triple H took over, they had a real opportunity to really take some momentum and sustain some momentum and grow their audience, and they failed, unfortunately.
Between how nasty and sloppy the fallout with Punk was,
yep,
they did a lot to hurt their public reputation. A lot, because it was the TK saying stupid shit on Twitter, it was the rah-rah speeches, it got really ugly for them for a while in terms of just public perception. And like I said, it's going to take a while for them to even repair that. We're probably looking at it's going to take another 2 to 3 years to even get close to having the kind of numbers and crowds that they were having even before Punk got there.
Punk grew their business
Yeah, he did.
over his time there, despite what some fans may not want to recognize.
No, Punk is a huge draw. There's never been a question for that.
Well, there's a lot of AEW tribalistic fans who think Punk is the main culprit for their downfall.
No.
No, no, it's mismanagement at the highest level.
Yep.
If you
TK
have a boss who is letting things
build up.
happen, exactly, build up, build up, build up, and then something happens because you didn't take care of a situation, that's on the boss.
I can tell you right now, the moment I knew shit was gonna hit the fan sooner rather than later, was giving Punk his own TV show.
It was a stupid solution to a problem that he created.
Correct. And instead of just giving a whole show to Punk and being like, hey, we're going to separate you guys and you can kind of do what you want over here, TK needed to sit everybody down and be like, look, you can either get along
over it,
or no one can wrestle. Like, that's your choices. Like, you ain't got to like each other. You don't.
No. All fighting over... The thing about it is that all fighting over alleged friendships of a dude who, and this is no slight to Colt Cabana, who is just not all that important in the grand scheme of things.
No.
And I get it. He's their friend, and he thinks Punk was trying to sabotage. Punk had nothing to do with the way he was booked or presented or contract or any of that stuff. Punk still went there knowing he was associated with those guys. So if he thought that was a big deal, he just wouldn't have fucking went in the first place.
Right.
But yeah, they should have all sat down after Brawl In and after a one-armed man beat the hell out of two fucking grown-ass men. The person I feel bad for is Kenny. Because Kenny's
in the middle of it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, no, I do feel bad for Kenny. And
because Kenny got attacked trying to save a dog.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah,
no,
it's a bad situation. Nobody was in the right, so that just so people don't think I'm a Punk shill and just a Punk apologist.
You are a Punk apologist, but this has nothing to do with that.
But, thanks, pal.
You've admitted it yourself.
Shh. I don't recall.
During a podcast, even. No.
I don't recall.
Like I said, I don't hate anybody that was involved with anything. I hate how everything was handled.
I hate the fact that I didn't get to see a bunch of other Punk versus X people in AEW, because there was still a lot of matchups I would have loved to have seen.
Yep. The one thing that I think also needs to be taken care of, and I think this should be something for across all wrestling. I have seen way too many times now where something like this has happened and caused a rift between people that didn't need to be there. I think regardless if you're AEW, regardless if you're WWE, because the most recent example of this is Charlotte and Tiffany. If you've got two people that are being built into a program with each other, and they've got to have some sort of promo battles between each other, the two people involved really need to get together and at least go over some key items that are going to be said.
Well, you have to know what's off limits,
so that there's no surprises. And the reason I bring this up, because again, it's a problem in both companies, whether it was Tiffany and Charlotte during that weird-ass exchange that they had.
It just gets handled better in the publicly traded company.
There was the problem with Punk and Hangman.
Yeah, where Hangman went off script and said some shit that Punk wasn't ready for.
There was, and we can keep going back further, even before AEW was around. Cena and Rock Um,
Yeah.
it's just it should be a rule again, regardless of. Like, I'm not saying to not say some fucked up shit. If the other person absolutely agrees to that fucked up shit,
Like the Becky and Nikki thing over on Raw.
yeah, whether it's Becky and Nikki Bella, which you can absolutely tell that was. And here's the thing: you don't even have to tell them exactly how you're going to say it. Becky probably was just backstage and was like, "Hey, Nikki, just to let you know, I'm going to say something about the you and John Cena's past relationship," and Nikki was probably like, "All right, fine."
As long as both people are in agreement with what's gonna happen, so one don't feel slighted and get put in a vulnerable position, and then, I mean, because it's only going to lead people to act defensively, and it could be bad, right? They could get
And
very defensive and just pop off on some shit and really go off script.
and and again, both companies also have, and because again, the ones I can think of recently for AEW, there's some good examples of stuff you absolutely can tell was talked about backstage before it happened. A prime example is almost every time MJF has brought up Jay Briscoe when talking shit to Mark, or because there's a lot of fucked up shit people say in AEW. It's usually about dead family members or whatever. I mean, look how long Christian's been running down the dead dad segments.
That's been Nick Wayne's entire time in AEW.
Yeah,
It's like every feud he's in.
but yeah, it's just that's one of those things that it has. It's you need to have that communication again, even if you don't like each other. You need to be able to sit down if you're about to work together and be like, "Hey, these are the talking points. This is what I'm going
Yeah,
to
because
say."
it's about business.
So that you're not blindsided, and then don't go off like there's don't go so far off script that you're starting to say shit that's not even a talking point that you've talked about. Um, Even if I enjoy it, okay? Listen, I enjoyed that weird ass alternate interaction between Charlotte and Tiffany because,
Tiffany got the fuck out of Dodge though. She got her point in and ran.
and
She's like,
again,
this bitch may pop me in the mouth.
I liked it from the point of view of it's drama. As a viewer, drama's fun. But it's not fun once it bleeds into the backstage is where the problem is. So don't say shit knowing people like me are going to enjoy it. Say shit.
It distracts from the program.
Say shit that you both agree on that's okay to go with, and then run with it. That was a really long conversation just to get that point out. Anyways, okay, yeah, we're at 57 minutes. I think it's a good time to call it.
Nice.
All right, guys. So our next one will be Collision tomorrow.
Yes, hopefully a good Collision show.
I would like a good Collision show. Are we going to get a good Collision show? Probably not.
Are we going to get a Collision from 2 weeks ago that was good, or are we going to get a Collision show that was like last week's that was bad?
All multi-man matches. I mean, we already know 2 of the multi-person matches. So, I mean...
Yeah.
Because we're getting the Triangle of Madness versus Willow and her cronies. We're getting...
Rush's group versus Hangman and
the Faction Ignorable, or whatever the fuck they go by.
El Faction Ingobernables.
And Gobbledygooks.
Gobbledygooks.
Versus, whoever they're going up against.
Hangman and Jet Speed, I believe.
We've got, I guarantee you there's going to be a Don Callis family match.
Yeah, Fletcher's defending against Ishii.
There's fucking Josh Alexander on Twitter. Somebody had shared something and said something about Josh Alexander during the thing that was going on last week or earlier this week for the stupid painting that was revealed.
Oh, when he was in a suit. He was in a suit in the ring.
And Josh had commented on Twitter. He said, "Yeah, now I need to go win a championship so Don can have a painting like that done for me." He's like, any excuse to make my wife mad.
It's the Triangle of Madness versus Queen Aminata Ty Mello, which you groaned at when I told you last
Ugh,
time, and Willow.
fucking Ty Mello.
Yeah.
Fucking
So yeah, those are the only matches announced.
I don't I don't want this because of the family aspect. I there's a part of me though that wishes that family would leave AEW. Go to WWE. Go to NXT.
Mm,
Because I'm not a big Sammy fan either.
yeah, I don't know. It's probably not happening.
I know.
Yeah, those are the only matches announced. That's gonna be a long ass show if it's only 3 matches.
There'll be more that'll pop up though. That's they
I mean,
never.
that's a lot. That's a lot of backstage segments.
No, there's. It's not just going to be 3 matches. There'll be 2 or 3 more that pop up between, before the show airs. Well, it'll be like 1 or 2 matches will get announced before, like right before the show airs, and then there'll just be a couple that nobody knew about. That's how they always do Collision.
TK Twitter will put them out earlier in the day.
Yeah, that's how they always do Collision. Collision is like, unless it's taped, um, you don't really know shit that's going on. Like we do. So I'm in a pick'em thing through the AEW stuff, through AEW games. They do a pick'em little thing, and Collision, anytime it's live, it's literally like only 1 or 2 matches that are available, but they've always got like 5 or 6. So they're not good about announcing future plans for that show. Whew, cold chill. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. We love y'all. We'll talk to you next time. Deuces.
Later.